Hello dear students. Today in this class I am going to talk about the biological role of iron. So the content of my topic are some introduction related to iron, chemistry of iron, the sources of iron, its physiological function, what happens if there is a deficiency, what happens to the living system if there is excess of iron is present, and some of the medicines related to the element iron. So we all know that this iron is present not in the free state, so it will be associated with some sort of special ligands, and it could be heme proteins or non-heme proteins. So first is the oxygen transport and oxygen storage heme proteins, and we know that hemoglobin and myoglobin are the major heme proteins that are responsible for the transport and storage of oxygen respectively, and in some cases these hemerythrin and hemocyanins are present in the lower uh, organisms. Okay, so next is another type of heme proteins that contain electron transfer reactions. So these are maintained by some of the electron transfer heme proteins, for instance cytochromes C, cytochrome A, A3 and B. So different sub classifications within the cytochromes that are nothing but heme proteins which helps in electron transfer reactions. So next is heme protein containing enzymes, and those are peroxidase, catalase, okay, where these are called as antioxidant defensive system. Apart from glutathione peroxidase and superoxide dismutase, which contains selenium and zinc as its cofactor, okay, respectively. So along with that, peroxidase and catalase also acts as a antioxidant defense mechanism for preventing the oxidative damage that are caused by the generation of free radicals, such as it could be oxygen derived free radical, reactive oxygen species or reactive nitrogen species, and in particular these oxygen radicals or hydroxyl radicals and the generation of hydrogen peroxides are suppressed by converting them into molecular oxygen and water molecules by these peroxidase and catalase system. And one more enzyme, that is nitrogenase. As you all know that it is an enzyme that fixes the free atmospheric nitrogen into soluble form by using this enzyme which is present in the root nodules of the leguminous plant. And the cofactor that is present in such enzyme is 2 molybdenum atoms are present and 30 iron atoms are present. Okay, so collectively this molybdenum and iron acts as a cofactor in nitrogenase enzyme. So other type of heme proteins are oxidases and oxygenases. Example include cytochrome C oxidase. So next is non-heme proteins, that is uh, which is which is not a heme containing protein. So they are classified as non-heme proteins, and example include iron storage, that is transferrin protein, and iron storage, which is ferritin and hemosiderin. Next is iron sulfur proteins, and these iron sulfur proteins are present in the bacterial cells, okay, as one iron ferredoxins in rubridoxins, Okay, 2 iron containing ferredoxins, 4 iron containing ferredoxins along with the sulfur atom. So these are some of the example that are containing iron in its complex systems. So next is chemistry of iron. So as we all know that its atomic number is 26. So electronic configuration, outer electronic configuration is 4s to argon, 4s to 3d 5 if the iron is in +2 oxidation state, or 3d 6 if iron is in +3 oxidation state. Okay, iron having 26, sorry, this is 3d6 if it is in the 0 oxidation state, and if it is +2 it is 3d4, and if it is +3 it is 3d3. Okay, so and moreover, if we remove the electron from 4s2, it will be sorry, just a minute. So if you consider iron in +2 oxidation state, it will be 4s0 and 3d5, 3d6, and if iron is in +3 oxidation state, it is 4s0 3d5. Okay, and iron in +2 we call it as ferrous, iron in +3 it is ferric. And it should be noted that the iron is even present in the +4 or +5 stable oxidation state in case of certain enzymes during the electron transfer reactions. And 2/3 of the iron that is present in the body, it mainly belongs in the hemoglobin protein, and this RBCs contains that protein. Okay, so the erythrocytes and iron are updated every 120 days. So this essential nutrient is very essential for cellular activities of all the tissues. Okay, and it is also present in myoglobin also, which is responsible for the storage of oxygen. So one more circulating peptide hormone, that is hepcidin, which is secreted by the liver, that plays a central role in the regulation of iron homeostasis in the body. So homeostasis means the maintaining of these electrolytes or elements or the atoms in a balanced manner. Okay, and this helps in the internalization and degradation of the iron in the body, and mainly that takes place at the intestine of the living organisms. So next is the important role that is played by this iron in the metabolic processes. So this nutrient is very essential for the cell division, for cell growth, synthesis of different DNA molecules, protein metabolism, to strengthen the immune system. Okay, and also it is involved in the formation of connective tissues of several neurotransmitter in the brain. So again, the cytochromes, okay, that is iron transfer reaction takes place in such type of proteins, and also they help in the transfer of oxygen, that is involved in the energy production, in particular synthesis of ATP molecules. Okay, next is thyroid hormones, which also contain iron and regulate the metabolic processes. Okay, so these are the major metabolic processes that are involved by using the essential nutrient, that is iron element. So not as directly, but in the form of complexes or in the form of proteins. So they assist in different physiological function maintenance. Okay, so here this slide gives some food that are rich in iron, and in some of the article they have classified that iron into heme iron and non-heme iron. And heme iron containing foods are meat and poultry products. Okay, and seafood, that is fish, mussels and shellfish also. So non-heme iron containing foods are cereals, pulses, vegetables and green leaves, etc. Okay, so these are related to the iron sources that are present in different types of food materials. So here I have given some of the structures of these complexes, that is iron sulfur cluster proteins, that is ferredoxins. Okay, their crystallographic structure, and in the right side the heme, that is myoglobin. Okay, which helps in the oxygen storage, and nitrogen fixation enzyme, that is nitrogenase enzyme. So this is the heme structure, iron surrounded by 4 nitrogens of the pyrrole rings of the porphyrin group, chemical group. Okay, so the prosthetic group or the active side is the iron element itself, and the organic protoporphyrins are present. So next is, here this slide gives the cytochrome C, which helps in the electron transfer reactions, and in particular this is very important, that is assists in the oxidative phosphorylations. So cytochromes are redox intermediates that are present in the membrane bound proteins that contain heme groups and carry out electron transport in the oxidative phosphorylation during the synthesis of ATP molecules, and that electron transfers are due to the stable oxidation state, that is shifting between +2 to +3 oxidation state. Next is the inorganic prosthetic group of 3 well-known oxygen carriers, that is hemoglobin, okay, that is present in vertebrates, hemocyanin and its respective structures. Okay, this hemocyanin is present in molluscus, hemerythrin that is present in sea worms and its respective chemical structure. So next one is very interesting, that is how food is converted into energy, and that is the process involving glycolysis as well as oxidative phosphorylation, which is assisted by even iron containing proteins also, along with other types of enzymatic systems. And this is how the glucose that gives 18 times more energy when oxidized, okay, compared to other type of chemical processes. And here is the very interesting fact about red blood cells and the amount of 1 microliter of blood that is containing different RBC, WBC and platelets and respective amounts also. And along with that, it contains, each RBC contain approximately 270 millions of hemoglobin molecules. Okay, and its amount and its stability in the RBCs, okay, and certain different types of important informations. And you can go in detail for your understanding purpose. Okay, for examinations you just make a note of important points out of it. So next is the bioavailability and bioabsorption. So here Iron is absorbed in the intestinal region, as I said earlier, and the hormone that is responsible for these regulation of iron homeostasis is hepcidin, which is a circulating peptide hormone that is secreted by the liver, which plays a very important role in the regulation of iron. And it can be seen that there are certain iron inhibitors also which inhibits the absorption of iron, and also certain chemicals that are present as enhancers. So even if there is a presence of iron, not all the persons can have the ability to absorb the iron. So it all depends on the bioavailability and also its body system towards the absorption of iron. And in that case, certain inhibitors which inhibits the absorption of iron are polyphenols, examples that are present in tea, that is tannins, etc. Okay, coffee, wine, that is in several beverages, vegetables and some cereals which contains polyphenols which inhibits the absorption of iron. Next is phytic acid, calcium, peptides from partially digested proteins, soybean which inhibits the iron absorption, as well as the milk proteins, casein, egg proteins, that is egg white, albumin. Also there are certain clinical study report that suggest some of these chemicals that are present in excess amount, so it inhibits the iron absorption in case of a human beings. And also the enhancers. So if a person is suffering from if a person is suffering from iron deficiency, then that can be enhanced by increasing the vitamin C diets. Say for example, that is ascorbic acid, which plays a very important role. So dual role, that is, one, it reduces the iron that is present in +3 oxidation to +2 oxidation state, and itself acts as a chelator, that is as ascorbate, and along with citrate, these might act as a chelators which increases the iron uptake. And also some of the muscle tissues helps in enhancing the concentrations of iron in the body. So next is, what happens if there is a deficiency of iron in the living system? So the major disorder is the anemia, which also results in sickle cell anemia, so thereby reducing the learning ability of a person. So heart palpitations, shortness of breath, decreased concentration, disturbed sleep, severe menstrual pain and bleeding in case of women, inflammations of the eye, mouth ulcers, hair loss, etc. And if the iron content is very low in case of blood plasma, so that causes itchy, that is itching in the skin, especially in case of elders. Okay, and also nails become very soft, brittle and white in color. So in case of the pregnancy period, if there is a deficiency of iron, the newborn child can become easily infected, okay, wherein the immune system will drastically reduced. Okay, so miscarriage might take place, premature birth, low weight in newborns, increased risk of anemia of a child, and drastic impact may lead to death of a child at birth itself. So slow growth of children and weaker development of mental abilities results. So by this we can come to know that iron is very important along with the other essential nutrients. So iron should also be taken in the proper diet. So next is, what if there is an excess of iron, so it can cause damage to intestinal tract, vomiting, diarrhea, liver damage, okay, abdominal and joint pains, cancer, heart disorders, arthritis, okay, a diabetic condition also might result, a variety of psychiatric disorders, that is, there won't be a mental stability, lack of concentrations, okay, and one cannot concentrate properly, especially in the learning skills also. So excessive skin pigmentation, body weakness, hemochromatosis, which is related to liver diseases. So next is how these iron is used as a medicines, okay. So as I said, the iron absorption takes place especially in the mucosa cells, that is present in the small intestine, absorbs iron bonded to the heme molecules, and these hemes are broken down and releases iron as a non-heme iron, which is absorbed in ferrous form, that is in the duodenum cells, and oxidized to iron 3. So this iron 3 binds to a molecule of intracellular carriers and is transported to mitochondria, and which is transported to apoferritin or apotransferrin, and this apoferritin having the molecular weight around 500 kilodaltons, okay, having the molecular, each with the molecular weight of 18 kilodalton with 24 identical subunits, okay, and one such apoferritin can bind up to 4300 atoms of iron to form the ferritin, which is the primary storage of iron protein, and this can be monitored accordingly. And if a person is suffering from iron deficiency, he can be supplemented with different types of oral supplementation directly, as in the form of ferrous sulfate or ferrous gluconate. And one more thing, that is fortification, which is a process usually made with much lower doses than the supplementations. As part of that, they are going to supplement the food with the iron fortified food materials, or directly as in the form of ferrous sulfate, ferrous fumarate, ferric pyrophosphate, okay, or electrolytic iron powder. So if there is a excessive amount of iron is present, so they are going to fortify it in the process wherein the iron absorption will be reduced, okay. And one more process is there, that is biofortification, which is a type of plant breeding or genetic engineering. And during the growth of the plant, they will modify the genes to absorb more amount of iron specifically during its growth, and thereby increasing the iron rich supplements within that plant material. And they have successfully modified, so based on the research you know articles, we can come to know that they have modified the plant breeding or the genetic modification in case of wheats, rice grains, beans, and different types of millets also, wherein they are going to increase the iron content from around 25 to 56 milligrams per kg of these sample materials. So these are some of the medicines that are available in the market, okay, wherein they have increased the content of the iron in these food materials also, and as well as directly they are supplemented through in the form of tablets, okay. So this is all about the biological importance of iron Okay, so this completes the bioinorganic chemistry, and for the sake of examination, you make important points out of these material. Okay, so do not write everything, so only based on the question and how much marks they are going to ask, you just make a note of those points, okay, which are very important. Anyhow, based on this topic, I will give assignment and questions. You try to solve those questions and keep it the hard copy, okay, and submit when you are coming back to college. Okay, thank you.